Well, how do you do, buckaroos? I guess I'm live. Are you live? I hope so. So, anyways, you decided to do a live video for no other reason than, well, uh, until if it's still a free country unless Donald Trump gets elected, and then fascism, here we come, baby. Anyways, yeah, I'm done politics, Tom. Okay, I'm done. So, anyways, I decided to leave the music on, so obviously I don't own any rights, anything you may hear. But I've always thought of my videos as kind of a pub conversation. So I'm just going to let it play in the background. You can hear it awesome. Right now, it's Black Sabbath War Pigs on my Pandora channel. That's my Pandora thumbprint. What's going on right now? And I happen to be playing Black Sabbath War Pigs, man. So let me talk about the beer first, and I'll talk about Labor Day. It's Labor Day weekend. It's Sunday as I'm doing this, obviously, because it's live. I don't know why I said that, but I've been saying it all day for videos that don't go out live. So I've got this beer from Show Me Brewing. It's one they actually brew there. It's not a home brew. They actually have a microbrewery license. So they can sell their beers here. And this is a hibiscus grisette. It uses a Saison yeast, Pilsner, and wheat malts, and it uses hibiscus near the end of the boil. So how you get this crazy color you got going on here. Using my Amstel light glass. I was using the Belgian glass earlier. I had it when I had some before my Chimay glass, but I don't want to keep using the same glass. So I figured this glass would work too for this kind of beer. Anyways, so anyway, yeah. So Labor Day, holidays. You know, these are difficult because Seamus always did these. Seamus and I would always man the grill together. His forte really was rubs. He liked them, but he would usually plan the menu. He had a great I don't know what's the word, but a great palate. He also had a great I don't know if "eye" is the right word, but he knew how to plan a specific menu. He was just good at it. So, but I usually didn't do most cooking. He did some, but what he really enjoyed doing was he would formulate the rubs and the sauces, the marinades, that kind of thing. That's what he really liked to do. That's what and then planning the menu was kind of his thing that I would put together. But he had one of these incredible palettes where he said, okay, well, it needs a little of this, Tom, or Dad. He would say Dad. So anyways, so there you go. So I already fixed or already heated up, so I just have to reheat it later. But we got some corn yesterday, so I did some corn, did some acorn squash. I did some Brussels sprouts. I like them. Don't hate me, man. They don't give me gas, so but I love them, and I don't buy them very often. Just every once. We happened to be up near Lucky's Market in Columbia yesterday for a friend's wedding, so fix them up there. So there's a trick to doing Brussels sprouts I've learned over the years. First of all, get them fresh. Don't buy that frozen shit. Don't buy the brands with the sauce. You don't need all that nonsense. But I have learned a trick, right? A lot of people complain about Brussels sprouts being bitter. Here's what you do. You blanch them. Yes, it really is that simple. Blanch them for 4 minutes, man. That works for me. You blanch them, put them in an ice bath, then cut the ends off, take the outer leaves off, and that bitterness is gone. And then use whatever preparation you want. If you just want to steam them, if you want to, right now I've got them on my grill with some shallots and some orange blossom bacon. Oh, that bacon! We had that bacon for breakfast, crazy good. But I took a half a slice, I chopped it up fine, and put it in there with those Brussels sprouts. I'm also doing. I've got some mushrooms and shallots sautéing down, and then I'm going to put on top of the steak we're going to do later. So I've got one very nice size steak that's going to split between 3 adults and 2 children. Yeah, I know it's not a lot of protein, but I've got so much other stuff. I think it's going to be enough, especially when I slice it thin. I'm going to top it with the mushrooms and shallots. It'll be okay. Relax. It's fine. Anyway, but yeah, so these holidays, Seamus and I used to do the menus and stuff together, so it's difficult. So anyway, I went to Show Me. Picked up this growler today. Actually, I was going to get something else, man. My intention was to buy something else. They have a wonderful vanilla cream ale that I was going to pick up, but he had just put this on tap, and I wanted to try it. Sour beers, I've had a hard time getting into. I really have, but I've really made an effort over the last, just shy of 2 years now to really understand them. And when I had a samples, I thought, you know what? I'm going to get out of my comfort zone. I'm going to try this, and it's crazy good. I'm not a fan of hibiscus. I don't even know what the hell a grisette is, but this is it. It's good. It's very good. It's slightly tart. The nose is very floral and slightly sweet on the nose, but there isn't the body or the flavor. You get that, that tartness. I'm not going to say sour, but there's a tartness. And I had this conversation with some folks the other day. And the tart and sour are the same. No, I don't think tart and sour are the same. If I eat a key lime pie, that's tart. If I bite a lemon, that's sour. Tart and sour are two completely different flavors. And I think that's what a lot of beer geeks do wrong is they kind of combine one word that doesn't, that doesn't. Tart and sour aren't the same thing. We're talking about, sorry about scratching my nose. My Tourette's kind of gets me going sometimes, but we're talking about Brett, that Brett doesn't make things tart, and their word was funky. Well, to me, funky is not a flavor. Funky is an adjective. What's the flavor? Like dank isn't a flavor, but it's become a flavor for beer geeks. So, I don't know. I guess it's just how you describe things. Like I was saying it was tart. They were saying, no, it's not sour. So, well, tart and sour are two completely different things. For instance, a Granny Smith apple is tart. It's not sour. So there is a distinct difference, to me anyway, between tart and sour. This beer is tart. Kind of went a long way around the bar to say this beer is tart. It's not sour. But what's interesting about it is you all ever had those IPAs? I don't know why I just went into Southern Voice for no particular reason, but sometimes you just do that. And y'all ever have those IPAs where you take a drink and then as you wait, as you let that sit before you have the next drink, you really feel those hops. Well, that's kind of what this one does on the tart and dry end. As you take a drink, oh gosh, and it's slightly tart, but the longer I let that sit, the it keeps it keeps growing. It becomes more tart and more dry. It really dries up. It's just nice. I like the beer. It is again. It's one of those things. This isn't a style that I have really enjoyed in the past, or even knew much about. What a saison is, I'm familiar with other sours, but this being a grisette, hibiscus grisette, no less, which sounds pretentious, but it's not because I say so. Anyway, yeah, no. So here's the thing: Shelby Brewing started as a home brew shop about 5 minutes from my house in Springfield, Missouri. It is awesome that they're so close. But they also they started. They have some commercial brews in there that you can sit at the bar and sit and enjoy a beer, or you can order yourself a beer and walk around the store and shop, whichever you prefer. But they do have a microbrewery license. So early on, I was describing their beer as home brews, but they're not. They're really, I don't know if you microbrewery, nano brewery, whatever adjective you want to use. They are brewing their own stuff, and it's fantastic. Andy is the main brewer, the head brewer, the master brewer. I don't know what he calls himself, but he knows his stuff. Uh, Andy formulates most of the recipes, but his dad, John, does some as well. John came up with an IPA called, well, originally it was called the Highway 63 IPA. And then it kind of evolved into the Dancing Bear IPA, and I think he's going to make some more changes, but it's a fine beer. But then Andy just came out with this one. It's the Hibiscus Grisette. Like I said, they had their cream ale, vanilla cream ale, which was gorgeous. But then they also had a Rogan beer on tap, which is great because you don't see a lot of Rogan beers these days, man. And this isn't a rye IPA. This is an honest to goodness, meant to be a Rogan beer, man. It's malty, but you get those spice notes from the rye malt. It's very nice. So eventually, I think the plan is right now they've got 6 commercial taps, but they have the ability to do 12 taps. So I think the plan is for them eventually to do almost all of them their own brews, but they're only doing 10 gallons at a time over there. So because it was meant to be a home brew shop, but they have the equipment there where a lot of folks come in. Oh, excuse me, I got stretch. We'll come in and you can brew your own stuff there. So, which is nice. Oh, Cold Ethel from Alice Cooper's just now coming out. Sweet Emotion just ended. But yeah, so it's great for newbies to brewing because you've got Andy there to walk you through the process. But even for experts, I've seen folks that really understand brewing go in there and use the equipment because, well, it's one, it's state-of-the-art equipment, and two, well, the mess stays there, you know? It's, you brew it there, it ferments there, you come back a couple of weeks later to bottle and take it home. It's just awesome. It's an awesome concept, and I love that they're brewing more. And again, I think the plan is to eventually have almost all those 12 taps their own brews. But they're doing some incredibly good stuff. It's just amazing, man. I have enjoyed this beer more than I thought I would, in all honesty. I just ordered it because I wanted to do. Again, I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone. I wanted to have something different, and I had a sample, and it was nice. But I wanted to work through a growler because sometimes having one beer of something, having 2, 3, and 4 of something is something different. So, anyways, hey, I'm a fan of Show Me Brewing. I hope you all are having a fine, fine, fine Labor Day weekend. Tomorrow is Labor Day. See, I've always done several videos for Labor Day. So, and I started not looking at not doing them after we lost Seamus to cancer. But I thought, you know what? It's one of those things. If I do that, then the bastards win. So I keep doing them. There's an old saying. I'm sure everybody has heard it. And it has a few different ways to go, but there's no atheist in a foxhole. There's no atheist on your deathbed. But I'm going to take it further. There are no atheists when you have a terminally ill child. There are no atheists when you lose a child. Because if this is all there is, then what's the point? There is no reason to go on if this is all there is. So I choose to believe there is something out there. Do I have proof? No. I have felt things, that I would never be able to convince anybody else it's real, but it's real to me. The feelings I have, I know are real. So I do think there's something else out there. I do believe we all have a soul. I know that because mine hurts. I have this ache in my body every day, and it's not my bones. It's not my muscles. I have those aches every day too, so I know the damn difference. But I have this ache in my soul, so I know we have a soul. I know something happens when we die. I know there's something else out there. I don't know enough to convince you all. Actually, I'll take that back. I don't know. I believe it. And there's a difference between knowing and believing. I can't. To know something, you have to be able to prove it. So I can't prove it, so I don't know it. But I believe it. So, anyways, didn't mean to get all existential on you. But hell, we are in a pub, and sometimes those kind of things happen. Have a drink on me. How freaking appropriate. As I'm doing this video, the AC/DC's Have a Drink on Me comes on. So I'm going to drink this beer. Oh, refreshing. Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, it is. It's funny. When I had that sample this morning, I felt like it was extremely tart. You know what I mean? It had almost this cranberry-like finish. I mean, but now that I've drank almost this whole growler over the course of about 6 hours, or 5 hours, I guess it's been. But now it doesn't feel that tart. It feels tart, but not. You know, you know what I'm saying? My asshole didn't pucker. It puckered when I had that sample this morning, but now it's not puckering anymore. So I guess maybe I've gotten used to it. So there you go. So, anyways, hey, I'm Ton of Beer Whisperer. I don't know why I say anyways so much. It's one of those speech things people do, I guess. You just get into habits and say things. It just drives me crazy that I do that. So, anyway, I said it again, man. I'm Tommy the Beer Whisperer. I want to thank folks that stick with me. I want to thank folks that, don't get offended easy. I've lost so many friends on various social media because, they're candy asses and they can't take a damn joke. I just one Canadian get his panties in a wad over who knows what. That Canadians are supposed to be nice. This guy is kind of pissy. Anyways, I'm trying to Paris for a long time, Joe here.